Welcome back to Culture Fans Wrestling. My name is Kavika, and today I'm doing my predictions for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I don't know exactly what order the matches are going to go in, but I do have a list to the side of me saying what's going to be on night 1 and night 2, and I'm going to go in that order. So the matches on night 1 will stay with night 1, and the matches for night 2 will stay on night 2. For the World Tag Team Championships, we have the champions, the Viking Raiders, versus the New Day. Now, to me, it just seems like this match was... they've been working on this storyline for a few months now? 5 months? Something like that. It's been kind of off and on TV and everything. Big E's going to return. That's probably the big thing that's going to happen here. And that's the reason why it's on WrestleMania, and the other one isn't, and we'll get to that in a second. But I think this is clear as day. This is going to be a New Day win. The Viking Raiders really haven't done anything with the tag team titles. In fact, the entire Raw tag division is just pretty much non-existent. Which brings me to the SmackDown tag division. Now, there is a match between, I believe it's the Street Profits and the Motor City Machine Guns for the WWE WWE tag team titles. And I believe, hopefully, that, maybe not hopefully, but I'm hoping something happens to where we get this match on Mania. I don't care if it's still just Street Profits and Motor City Machine Guns. I don't care if it's like a fatal 4-way tag team or however many tag teams you got to have in this, because the SmackDown tag division is on absolute fire. And the fact that it doesn't seem like it's even going to be on WrestleMania that's atrocious. That's horrible. What are we doing, WWE? I get we want the Viking Raiders and the New Day, because the New Day is a big ticket name, especially for WrestleMania. And the SmackDown guys don't really have big names down there in the tag division, but they're killing it. And they've been killing it for months. Even before the New Day turned heel, they've been killing it. But yeah, the New Day's going to win. And if, just in case, they do wind up putting some kind of SmackDown tag titles on the Mania card, Street Profits retain. That's my guess. New Day is the new World Tag Team Champions, and the Street Profits will retain their WWE Tag Team Championships. Next on the card, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. This is another match that kind of just seems thrown together within the past few months. We've had Chad Gable go down to Mexico, I believe, and learn from the greatest luchador of all time to finally rid his horrible matches against luchadors. His losing streak with them is unmatched by anyone else. And, we all know it's Chad Gable underneath the mask. Unless we're all wrong. I don't think we're wrong. But I think El Grande Americano is going to win, because I can see this feud still going into Backlash next month, I believe it is. Rey Mysterio doesn't need a win here, and El Grande really hasn't done enough yet. And I feel like this is a really good place to really solidify him as a heel, as he clearly is. People love him, but we love to hate him. So I think El Grande Americano will win against Rey Mysterio, which is crazy to say. Next on the card, we have Naomi versus Jade Cargill. I, for one, was a person waiting for Jade Cargill's return. And while it was awesome what she did at Elimination Chamber, her entire storyline with Naomi and Bianca and the tag team titles has really, really fallen flat. They've made up for it a little bit with their few promos that they've had on TV, but I feel like this storyline hasn't been given enough time to really be the powerhouse match for women. It's not for a title. It's just a blood feud. It's not in any specialty match. It's just Naomi versus Jade Cargill, which is fine if you have a storyline and they hate each other. That's about it. But no one cares. Either way, I'm going for Jade. I think Jade's going to win. I don't see the reason why you would have Naomi win, have Jade return. I mean, it's a mess. This storyline is a whole mess. So I think Jade Cargill is going to win, and that's going to propel her into the main event scene, while Naomi will stay in the mid-card scene, and I can see Naomi going for one of the mid-card women's titles that isn't the women's tag team championships, because we don't need that again. Next on the card for the United States Championship, we have champion LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I feel like this one is clear as day. This is another one where there hasn't been much storyline buildup, maybe for the past few-ish months, maybe a little bit. But this is Jacob Fatu's championship to lose. Like, LA Knight might be coming in champion, but we all know Jacob Fatu is leaving the United States champion, bringing that title back to, I guess, the Bloodline. I don't really know if they are the Bloodline anymore, but yeah, they're bringing it back to their family. I'm kind of hoping this will just be like a real quick squash match, because they haven't really done much with LA Knight to put him in a storyline. His storyline with Logan Paul, I believe last year it was so much better than what they're doing with him and Jacob Fatu. I mean, yeah, they interact and everything. They've had a couple matches, but it's just kind of like, it's almost like the Naomi and Jade Cargill thing. We really don't care. We know who's going to win. We're just trying to get there. We're trying to get there and get past Mania to see what's going to happen. Jacob Fatu is going to be your new United States champion. Next on the card, we have, for the WWE Women's Championship, champion Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I feel like this is another cut and dry one. Tiffany Stratton comes in champion, she walks out champion, to make her look like she is a formidable champion, someone not to be messed with, especially when it's against Charlotte Flair. You think somebody wants to mess with somebody that's beat Charlotte Flair? Someone who has, I think, 14 world titles under her belt? I mean, it just seems like this is going to solidify Tiffany as a mainstay main eventer and still the WWE Women's Champion. I don't see what any good comes out of Charlotte winning. I mean, yes, it would make her like probably the ultimate heel in WWE, because everyone would hate her having that title. Everyone. And it's just like, Tiffany has, a few defenses with the title. It's just kind of like, Tiffany's going in, she's going to kick Charlotte's butt, they're going to have a great match, and everyone's going to walk home happy as Tiffany walks back up the ramp, still champion. Tiffany Stratton is my pick for this match. Next on the card, we have, for the World Heavyweight Championship, champion Gunther versus Jey Uso. Now, I have a feeling that Jey Uso is going to win. But the way they've been building this has kind of had me flip-flopping between the two, because it has just been like Gunther carrying the entire feud and Jey just kind of going out and, yeet. I mean, Jimmy has done more in this feud than Jey has, and it's sad to see, because you can tell the fans want Jey to be more than he is right now, and he's kind of fallen flat because Gunther has been carrying this whole thing on his back. And especially with the last few promos Gunther has done, it really doesn't seem like Jey stands a chance. And honestly, kayfabe-wise, it doesn't make sense for Jey to win unless, some shenanigans happen or what have you. Because he's still the same guy who lost 3 times in a row to Gunther. What makes this 4th time so special? Because it's WrestleMania? Because he beat up his brother Jimmy? I just don't see it, and to me, it's not believable. I'm still picking Jey Uso because I can't see Gunther coming out the champion because of how over Jey is right now. I think what it's going to be is an experimentation as main event Jey Uso staking his claim as, I am the world champion and I will be in the main event, and see how well it does, as opposed to him being mid-card Jey Uso saying he's main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso, as of night 1 of WrestleMania 41, will be our new World Heavyweight Champion. And for the finale of night 1, we have a triple threat match of Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Now, this match I'm really looking forward to, because triple threat matches, no rules, anything goes, and I've been struggling with who's going to win between 2 people. I don't think Roman's going to win. Roman does not need this win. He doesn't seem like he's wanting to go for any championships or anything. He's just the tribal chief now, hanging out in paradise. Whereas it still seems like Seth Rollins and CM Punk are still hungry. They still want to fight. They want to claw their way back to a championship win. And I've been seeing and reading a bunch of stuff online about how Seth Rollins has that favor from Paul Heyman now, and that favor is going to be helping him out in some way. I don't know. And then I've also seen the other side of the coin where it's Seth Rollins is going to flip and join The Rock and Cena to make their new corporation faction, just like The Rock did with Vince McMahon back in the day. But nay, I say, CM Punk will come out champion. And this is what I envision. I could be totally wrong, but this is how I envision it. CM Punk wins, beating Seth Rollins by pinning Roman Reigns, a man who has only been pinned, maybe 2-3 times since he won the world title originally. And staking his claim, saying, I won a championship match. I beat 2 of the top guys in WWE. Not the top, but 2 of the top guys in WWE. And this is where he goes on to face for either the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship. But I'll get more into that a little bit later in the video. But CM Punk will defeat both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And hey, look at that. We made it all the way to night 2, starting with AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I really like the little dynamic AJ Styles and Karrion Kross has had for the past few weeks on TV. And I think that there's going to be a lot of shenanigans in this fight, because it's Logan Paul and he's kind of known for just kind of having people come in and mess up the whole situation for whoever whose opponent is. But I also think they're going to have, to me, this is like the match that people are just throwing it to the side because Logan Paul's in it. But it's AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And Logan Paul is a pretty athletic dude. People don't like him. I don't like him. But you can't hate his in-ring work. AJ Styles is a fantastic, phenomenal, some may say, worker in the ring. And I think these two are going to have the underdog match. This is going to be the match that people are thrown to the wayside, but they remember a lot from it once WrestleMania 41 is over with. Now, with saying that, all the shenanigans that are going to happen, I think there's going to be some shenanigans from Logan Paul, of course, but I also think there's going to be some shenanigans from Karrion Kross. Now, will he help out AJ? Will he go against AJ? I don't know. Either way, I think Logan Paul is going to beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I know, it's crazy to say. I didn't believe it either when I first thought it, but there it is. I said it. Logan Paul is going to defeat AJ Styles at WrestleMania via shenanigans. Next on the card, in a Sin City street fight, we have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Just like everyone else in the IWC, I was not looking forward to this match. I was thinking, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, like, what? Are you kidding me? Why would I want to watch that? Who wants to watch that? I don't want to watch that. But as they've slowly built this, and this is a testament to the two guys in the feud, Damian Priest, but especially Drew McIntyre, coming off probably the best thing he's ever done in his career against CM Punk going into this. They are both making us believe in all of this. And it's so nice that we're actually going to get something like a street fight at WrestleMania. Now, Damian Priest had that street fight against Bad Bunny, and I believe he lost, if I remember right, against Bad Bunny. So does he really have a chance against Drew McIntyre? And is Drew McIntyre really going to lose at WrestleMania again? I guess, he won last time, but he wound up losing in the very end. I can't see Drew losing. He's already lost so much from last year's WrestleMania all the way up until now. He ain't won much, and he's right. He keeps getting screwed over, and it's not, sometimes not his fault. Sometimes he gets a little too, into the moment and loses sight of everything. But because of that, I think Drew McIntyre wins here at WrestleMania, and this catapults him into championship contender mode. All right, next on the card for the Women's Tag Team Championships, we have the champions Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. When I first saw that they were going to have a gauntlet match to see who was going to face Liv and Raquel for the titles at WrestleMania, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is awesome. And I see Bayley and Lyra in there. I thought they were going to be maybe the second or third team out, maybe go a little bit of the distance and then get knocked out. And then they wind up winning. And I'm just going to go ahead and say who I think is going to win. Liv Morgan and Raquel are going to retain their titles. But I want to talk a little bit about the women's mid-card division right now. You have both the Women's Intercontinental Championship and the Women's United States Championship not on WrestleMania. In fact, you have the Women's Intercontinental Champion in this tag team match worrying about a different title with a tag team partner she just got with. I mean, I guess they could go the route of, Lyra's a double champion and people should watch out for her and this, that, and the other. But all you're telling me is you don't care about the Intercontinental Championship, and you surely do not care about the Women's United States Championship. When they first came out with the titles, I was like, all right, that's cool. Kind of wish it wasn't just a carbon copy of what the men have, but at least the women in the mid-card division actually have something to fight for now. But now they're not even being represented at WrestleMania. Yeah, sure, Lyra's going to walk out with her championship, but she's not defending it against anybody. And then Chelsea Green is not even going to be at WrestleMania. Unless something changes on Friday Night SmackDown, then where's the mid-card championships, WWE? The Women's Tag Team Championship, no one cares about. No one. At least people like Chelsea Green as the United States champion. And I've kind of grown on Lyra Valkyria the past few weeks, especially after her match with Bayley. Started out slow, they paced themselves, and it turned into almost an instant classic. I think WWE is just doing a bit of disservice to the women of the roster by not having both women's mid-card titles on Mania actually defending their titles. But yeah, Liv and Raquel they're gonna retain. It doesn't make any sense for Bayley and Lyra that doesn't make any sense. On to the next. We have, for the Intercontinental Championship, champion Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. This is once again one of the things that I've seen on the internet a lot, that people think Dominic Mysterio is going to win by pinning Finn Balor. And once again, the internet could be right and I could just be crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think there's going to come a time in the match where Dom gets a chance to pin Finn, but he doesn't. Finn either kicks out and realizes, oh, you just tried to pin me, or it's going to be Dom goes to pin Finn, somebody breaks up, either Braun or Penta, and then they start fighting. They basically negate each other in the match, basically leaving it up to Braun Breaker retaining his title or Penta winning his first title in WWE at WrestleMania. Now, which one do I think is going to happen? I think Penta's winning this, hands down. The little Judgment Day spat that's going on over here in the corner, they're gonna beat each other up. They're gonna wind up hating each other. Finn's gonna leave the Judgment Day because I guess Dominic is gonna become the new head of the Judgment Day, which sounds kind of weird to say, but nonetheless. And then it kind of doesn't make sense for Braun to retain it because he hasn't done anything with it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those matches he had against Ludwig Kaiser and them were amazing. But since that's dropped off, we have had nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sure, he's come out, beat the Judgment Day up. Sure, he's come out, beat Penta up. But he's done nothing. He's like a nothing champion. He's almost like a really long transitional champion. And yeah, Penta's hot right now. People love Penta. They love his in-ring work. They love the heart he has on the mic. Penta is going to walk out WrestleMania, the new Intercontinental Champion, hands down. But I wouldn't be mad at Dominic Mysterio winning either. Next, for the Women's World Championship, we have champion Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Now, Rhea Ripley has never defeated Io Sky in singles competition. So, because it's not singles, she may have the upper hand here by pinning Bianca, technically beating Io and becoming champion. Bianca Belair she's tied for the longest WrestleMania streak wins right now with Rob Van Dam at 4 wins. And then you have Io Sky coming in as champion, and everyone sees her as an underdog. They're like, who are you? You can't stand up to me. But this is another one I've been flip-flopping on a lot. Like, I can see Rhea winning, but when she won, she got injured, and then nothing really materialized from that except like the whole Liv Morgan storyline, which was fun. Bianca Belair, unless she turns heel, I really don't want to see that. I don't think you really want to see that. And Io Sky, I feel like, has a lot of potential with a lot of the roster because I feel like she'd have a more diverse matches than Bianca or Rhea. I want Io to retain, but I think Bianca is going to win. I think they're going to keep that WrestleMania streak going because they need something. It's going to be another LOL Bianca wins. Just like the good old LOL Cena wins, and I don't know, man. Maybe not. After thinking about it for a little bit, I'm sticking with Bianca. I think that's a good way of getting Jade into the main event scene. They can have their little spat because, yeah, Bianca and Naomi aren't friends, but maybe Jade isn't either friends with Bianca because she just kind of ghosted her for months. It's not like she was dead. She gave her a text and just been like, hey, it was Naomi the whole time. Why are you tagging with her? So I think that's what's going to happen. I think Io is going to unfortunately lose because Bianca's going to pin Io. Bianca ain't pinning Rhea. That's not happening. And then Rhea's going to go on and do, I don't know. I have no idea. And finally, we have the main event of Night 2 for the undisputed WWE Championship champion Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. John Cena's final WrestleMania, his final shot on the big stage, going up against the champion Cody Rhodes, the man who defeated Roman Reigns, getting rid of his, 1,000-day reign, 1,000+ day reign. Now, I thought about it a lot, and I haven't been able to convince myself otherwise of the decision I came to at first once this match was announced. With Cena turning heel at Elimination Chamber and everything, there's only one conclusion I can come to. Now, I know there's probably going to be a crazy amount of stuff that happens in this main event. I think coming out on top is going to be John Cena. Now, let me explain a little bit. I think for the World Heavyweight Championship, our next feud, probably around Backlash or after Backlash, is going to be Drew McIntyre against Jey Uso. I think that's a pretty good feud. If that's what we get, I'm happy with it. Now, for our feud with the WWE Championship, I see it being after Backlash, so maybe Cody gets another chance at the title or something like that. I'm not too sure where they're going to go to from there, but I believe John Cena is coming out of WrestleMania, WWE Champion, breaking Flair's record, being a heel champion, and just in time for SummerSlam, he's going to face CM Punk. Bring us all the way back to when they had their fight at SummerSlam with probably both of their greatest matches of all time, because it's a pretty good Punk match. That's a pretty good Cena match. They want to rekindle that moment in time where it was Cena versus Punk at SummerSlam. Punk promising to leave WWE with the title, leaving John Cena in the ring. This time they're going to flip it. It's going to be John Cena leaving WWE with the title, leaving Punk in the ring. WWE likes creating moments, and they like rekindling old feuds that were red hot. And I feel like this will be a huge missed opportunity if they don't do it. If Cena doesn't win, I don't know who Cody faces. Sure, it could be Cody versus Punk. Could be Cody versus Rollins. Could be Cody versus Reigns. But Cody's already beaten Reigns. Cody's already beaten Rollins. Cody hasn't beaten Punk as far as I'm aware, This is the only thing that makes sense to me. John Cena wins at WrestleMania. Maybe just makes an appearance at Backlash, because I believe he's scheduled for Backlash. Then he goes on towards SummerSlam and faces CM Punk for the WWE Championship, and who knows who'll come out on top. Maybe Punk wins and he goes over the barricade, sending one last kiss to John Cena. Or maybe Cena wins and he sends us all one last kiss goodbye with the title. I don't know. But for sure, John Cena is breaking Ric Flair's record at WrestleMania in the main event. You can't write a better story than that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below who you think is going to win. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What craziness do you think will transpire at WrestleMania 41? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching again, and I will see you next time.